The new MMORPG, Tarisland, the killer of WoW, of Final Fantasy, of every MMO, is here, and I want to talk about my first experiences on the first day, and my first impressions of what I think about it. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, go to my coffee if you want to support me, and let's get into it. So, first I want to say, the main game I played a lot of MMOs, but the main game I play is Guild Wars 2. I used to play WoW a lot, I played some Final Fantasy, but overall it's Guild Wars 2. So my lenses are going to be through that, right? Guild Wars 2 is very big in the good combat that it has, in the open world, in events, in big meta events with 50 plus people. So, you know, this is going to be the way I look at the game. So let's go through everything. First, oh, there we go, there's my thingies. First, I'm going to talk about the story, because, you know, that's mostly what you're going to do, going to be doing leveling. The story, and this is going to be interesting, because this is not what you would usually say. I think the story is great, okay? I think it's awesome. And not for the right reason, though. I don't think it's very like, oh my god, this story is so well done or whatever. It's complete dog trash, okay? It makes no sense. Everything happens way too fast, but it's so bad that it's so funny, okay? Like, it is literally soap opera story, okay? Like, there's like, you know, you get like, everyone betrays you instantly, right? Characters will look at the camera like this, and be like this, is like this, and be like, oh my god, this guy is obviously evil. It's like, like is obviously everything very on the nose, but because of that, and because how fast everything happens, it's just super funny. It's super corny, super like it's kind of epic, I guess. They're trying to do it, but it comes off as very but at the same time, it's very, very funny. So I really have enjoyed a lot doing this with my stream. As long as you take it like, I don't know, if you're playing this game with like friends and playing the story with friends, it's gonna be so funny. It's like watching The Room, right? If you're watching it alone, yeah, maybe not. It's not gonna be very, very good. But like, it's very good. Okay, I really, really like it. Okay, but if you're going for something like very, very serious that you wanna, you know, invest yourself in, and really care about the world, I'm not really sure if this is the one. Well, maybe it'll change, right? My opinion will change the more we play the game. But yeah, this is what it is. Second, just so you know, there's actually time gates right now in the launch, right? So for example, I'm level 20 and I'm capped. I cannot play anymore. In 9 hours, I'll be able to continue the story and be able to level up more. Now, this is good for new players, I think, in some ways, because hey, you don't feel like you have to like blast all day in order to catch up. You can just play a little bit every day and you'll be fine. So in this way, it's kind of good, but in some ways it's kind of bad, because all the hype that I had on the game while it come out, I felt like it was just not, you know, I don't know, like I can't play anymore. I can't really do anything, so I just have to wait for tomorrow, and all the excitement I had is kind of gone, right? I kind of wanted to blast all day, but you can't, right? The combat, I don't really think it's that good. It's very like tab targety. I thought that because you would have so little abilities, you would end up having like a very big action combat kind of thing. But it really doesn't seem like it's that, I don't know, that interesting. Yeah, the way that the rotation happens can be very fun. For example, I have this little like thing, this little rotating clock that will make me when it hits the red one, it means that I'll do more damage to that attack, which I think is pretty cool. But that's about it, right? Like, I'm not jumping around. I'm not like, you know, targeting skills in the floor. It's just very, like, you know, yeah, it's very chill type of combat, right? Very WoW-like, right? Very targety. So if you don't like that, not that good. That's one of the reasons, actually, and we're going to talk about this right now, is that I didn't really like Battlegrounds so much. I didn't like PvP that much, because it just didn't, like, it's just like typical Battleground in WoW, where you just hit all your buttons against the enemies, then they die sometimes, and they don't die other times because you did more damage than them. It's just not very interesting. I know that in WoW it can be very skillful, but it didn't really feel very skillful in this game. Now, this could be changed later on, I'm sure, but that's the impressions I've got in the first place. Dungeons, and let me put some beautiful gameplay of this. Dungeons were actually pretty fun. It had a good amount of mechanics. They have normal mode, elite mode, and a challenge mode on top of that elite mode, so it can definitely be a fair amount of challenge to it. It's not gonna be the most insane thing, especially because this is a dungeon that you get in at the start of the game. But it did seem pretty fun. There's some cool mechanics, and it seems like a very PvE heavy focused game, which, you know, if you're into that, I think it's definitely going to be good. And there's a good amount of content, I'm pretty sure. There's multiple dungeons. I think there are 10 raid bosses, and there's also solo challenges as well that you can do. Now, I did those. It's just, right now you can only do one boss, which is kind of boring, I think. But was it in here? I don't remember how you get it. Yeah, it's this guy. Yeah, I fought this guy. And you can like make it more like stronger depending on the things you pick here, and to get a better level and start getting in from floor 1 to floor 5, right? It's the same boss every time in this case because you go to the Shattered Hall, but it will get harder and harder. And there's some mechanics that you can deal with to make it a bit more interesting, right? Of course, and you can change difficulty by giving the enemy a bit more power or whatever, right? Now there will be more challenges as you can see here, but they will be unlocked after a few days of the season of the launch, which I found it a bit weird, but I guess they really want to. I guess they really want you to not go ahead and just blast the game entirely in just one go. They want you to be going slowly. And speaking of going slowly, there's a few things that you can do. To, you know, while you're waiting, you can actually explore your entire map. This will actually give you some, you know, rewards at the end and some achievements as well that will give you more power, more currency, more talents and stuff like this. And I actually kind of like this a lot because, you know, I come from Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is a game where exploration is very important. They will give you a lot of good things for exploring the game, doing the quests, getting little vistas, getting little coffers around the map, and they're all marked here as well, right? And even there are actual dynamic events that will happen every a few minutes, and you can see them right here. They marked in the island, and you can go do them. It's typical, hey, you know, go defend those little yaks from these wolves that are gonna kill them. Go deposit this little crates into this spots before the bandits steal them, stuff like this. And it's pretty cool because they tell you when they are, and once you get them all, you get more rewards. Almost all the rewards have been very vertical progression like. You can see here that if I go to my character, I have in my wait, no, not attributes, that's my bad. It's in development, my bad. If you go to skills, you can see that I have a lot of things. You have talents, right, that you get, you know, by doing certain types of content. You also have other things like runes. You also have your inscribed stone. There's like this almost like talent tree from like different stats that you can get, and the more content you do, the more of this little currency you get. And speaking of that, there are some sort of like pay to win kind of things. Like you do have a battle pass that will make you go a bit faster, right, which is definitely not good. But it seems to be like it's not omega pay to win, at least now. I would not be very hopeful about that one, considering the fact that it is a mobile game as well. And not only that, we have a lot of currencies in the shop, like a lot of them. Like there's like 8, like I don't know actually, no, it's like exactly 8, but like there's a good amount, right? Like there's like silver, there's gold, there's like crystals, right? There's like chromatic crystals, right? You also have the reputation, or you also have this glory award that you get from battlegrounds or the challenge modes. You also get this companion badge that I actually have no idea. I guess it's from guilds, and I know they are done by doing actual content in the game, but they are in the shop, you know, like UI. So it makes me a bit scary. It's a bit weird. Even the reputation one is here, right? So it's like, I mean, I'm sure everything will be fine, right? But you know, if it's something that would bother you, definitely, you should be taking. You should put your mind on it. You should think about it, right? Also, it's obviously that it's a mobile game because the settings are pretty bad. There's not a lot of customization in the settings, I think, which definitely sucks. For example, if I click off of the... Maybe I'm just blind, okay? Maybe I'm just blind and I didn't find it. But if I click off of the game, the sound stops because it doesn't have the little thing that you can do background. You know, you click it and it says the sound continues while the game is on the background. You can actually do that. So that sucks, right? There's a lot of things like this. It makes me think like they really didn't care that much about the, you know, the PC game compared to the mobile game. That being said, it does play pretty okay in PC. I've heard that it actually plays better than in what's the word? Than in mobile. So yeah, I mean, there you go. What else do we have? I kind of where is it? Where's my little notepad? There we go. Another thing that I really don't like about this game actually is the fact that you can see that I have a lot of gear and whatever, and you can craft gear, and that's pretty cool and whatever, but every character will look the same. Because the classes are essentially the way that you're gonna look. You can change a few of your features, but you're gonna be the same race. You can change between male and female, but you're gonna look more or less the same. And the only way you would think that if you change the the pieces of your armor, you will change, but that's actually not true. You always look the same. The only way to change the way that your character looks is to go into the shop. Oh my god, where's the shop? So many shops in here. That's not the shop. There's so many things. Like that's, yeah. Look, there's a lot of things to lock up on. There we go. The market. There we go. No, how do you change this? Maybe never gonna appearance. It's very, like, that's another thing. There's so many little things that it makes me very annoyed to, like, actually navigate the entire menu, right? There you go. If you go to character and you go to appearance, you can see that you can get little costumes. But that's about it. That's the only way that you're actually going to be able to change the way you look. Now, not all of them are from the actual shop. Some of them are from the battle pass, some of them from the actual shop, some of them are from the market, and some of them are from the achievements panel. So there's certain achievements that you can do that will give you this specific outfits, which I think is pretty cool, right? Look at this, like equip a set of 100 gear score equipment and activate the H8-piece effect. Like this is a cool achievement. I don't think it's a bad thing. The same thing goes for weapons and of course for your little helmet thing, right? Which is that's pretty cool. But I'm pretty sure this is battle pass. So yeah, I mean, look, you know, look, it's it is kind of like yeah, it's a mobile game, yes. It will have heavy monetization, and I'm not really sure if it's gonna be like this thing where it will forever be super free to play and not monetized at all. I don't think so. It's probably gonna end up going bad eventually, right? But you know, it will be your decision to see if it's worth for you to be playing it or not. I do think the game looks pretty nice, and honestly, considering the horrible MMOs that we have gotten this year, I think this is probably the best one we've seen. I really didn't like. I think Pax Day was kind of a disaster. I think Eternal Liberty was kind of a disaster, and I'm not really excited for that one either. But this one, I don't know. There's something about it that makes me just kind of want to be here. But it all depends on what you guys think as well. For the future of the game, I actually, even though I do say those things in a positive matter, I think this game, it's kind of competing with WoW. Like, it's trying to be a PvE game with top targeting. But it's just free. And it has, I guess, in some ways... well, yeah, it just has a different time monetization, right? And I think that's what it's really competing with. I don't think it really would compete with any PvP game. I don't think it's going to compete with Gears 2 in that regard. I don't think it's going to compete with Final Fantasy in terms of story. I think the only thing it can compete with is with actual difficult raids and dungeons and stuff like this, and PvE endgame content. But while at the same time being free, so the people that can't afford or they don't want to buy, have a sub for a game like World of Warcraft, they can play this instead. It really seems like that's what they're targeting, and I think they could indeed compete with them in that way, but they're gonna have to be very careful with the pay to win, and they're also gonna have to be very careful with the amount of content they do. If they don't give us a very good amount of content here, I don't think it's really gonna work out. But that's what I think. That's my day one thoughts. I'm sure I'll be playing the game more on Twitch, so if you want to watch me there, you can, and I'll you can follow the stream for that, and you can of course subscribe to the channel for more content of this, of course, as well. And see you guys around. Love you all. Bye bye. See you around.